Hey everyone, Ellie here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm very happy to have you. In today's video, I thought, do you know what? I would do my eyeshadow palette and my face palette collection video. I don't really have like tons of face palettes, so I thought I would just kind of combine it in with my eyeshadow palettes as well. I really like watching these types of videos actually, just to see what people has. Obviously, if you're looking for a new eyeshadow palette or you want to just change it up a little bit, it's quite nice to see what other people has, because like you can kind of, if you like a neutral palette that I own, or if you see any palettes here, it might inspire you to buy them, which is nice. So I'm going to kind of go through, talk a little bit just about each one and kind of tell you what I think about them. But I hope you enjoy this video. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a few days. Things have just been hectic in the Wedgelock household in the minutes, but without further ado, I'm just going to take everything out. I am doing this vlog style today, so I hope that I can open everything easy enough. I'm sure like all these palettes are quite easy to open, but we might come across a few stumbles across the way. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you do, and let's crack on, shall we? So guys, I have now kind of categorized everything onto my floor. I've got my section of face palettes here. I just thought I'd add that in as a little bit of a special. I absolutely love face palettes. I don't know what it is. They're just so aesthetically pleasing. So I just thought I'd show you my little collection, because there's some there that I absolutely love. And then obviously I've just separated everything. So Colourpop, Revolution, Huda, ABH, just so I can show you guys a little bit easier. I know I don't have like a ton of eyeshadow palettes, but the ones I have I love and I'm obsessed with. And that's why I kind of thought I would combine this with the face palettes, just to make it a bit more of a chunky video for you guys. So anyway, without further ado, we're just going to dive straight in. So as you can see, my beautiful array of ABH palettes sat in front of me. Now I have 7 of these. I absolutely am obsessed with these palettes. We've obviously got the classic Modern Renaissance is my first palette. I absolutely love this. This used to be such a cult classic back in the day. I mean, everybody and their nan probably had this. It's just such a great classic palette. One thing I will say about ABH eyeshadows is they do have a lot of fallout. Now, if that doesn't bother you, then 100% go for them, because they are the most pigmented, most beautiful shadows I have ever tried. But yeah, they do have a lot of fallout. I think because they're so pigmented, they do have the fallout to them, so it doesn't really bother me, because I do my eyeshadow before I do my base anyway, so I can just easily clean that up. So I do recommend, if you're going to get an ABH shadow palette, to do your eyes maybe before your base, so you don't have a lot of fallout over your makeup. But like all in all, you can just see like the beautiful detail and gorgeousness of these palettes, like just the velvet crush packaging. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. We've got the soft glam here. I don't actually use any of the brushes, by the way, so that's why the brushes look clean and crisp. But this is the soft glam palette. Now I absolutely love this one. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is just one that I grab for if I know I just need a natural, soft, gorgeous look. Like if I just need something really natural and soft glam, this is the palette I definitely reach for. Obviously, you've just got every shade you could possibly need in a palette. The shimmers are absolutely insane. The mattes, I absolutely love this palette. You can kind of see like where I still put my brush in. It does have like obviously the fallout to it, but that's not me insulting ABH in any way. I think these palettes are absolutely amazing palettes, and I definitely recommend them. They are £43 each, and some of the ones I have are not like available anymore. I believe like this one's like a limited edition one, but obviously they do have their like cult classic ones, which I cannot recommend enough. So I'll show you the other cult classic one. This is the Norvina. I don't actually have the Subculture because it's not really my style, but I absolutely love the Norvina. The Norvina used to be my absolute favorite of like all time. This is so insanely beautiful. Those shimmers, I tell you what, they blow me away. They are just absolutely the most pigmented things I've ever tried in my whole life. This is such a beautiful palette. Obviously, it is like more of a cool tone palette. You have got some like really nice cool tone shades in here. But I mean, just look at it glimmer. They just look absolutely gorgeous. You can just see them in the light. They're just absolutely insane. And by the way, if I sound out of breath, haven't been the greatest at the minute. So you're just gonna have to excuse my gibberish today. Just watch the palettes and excuse moi. So that's why you're not seeing me today, because yeah, this is what I look like. Grim. But yes, I just absolutely love these palettes so much. So we have those, and then we have like some ones in some different packaging, which I just absolutely love. I kind of love how they've done these in this beautiful packaging. So obviously we've got the Carly Bible, which is like probably my favorite one. which is typical because this is the one that's like limited edition. But this palette is just so beautiful. I cannot recommend this one enough. If you can get your hands on it from anywhere, like this is just so beautiful. As you can see from the fallout where I've tried to put that on my lid, a lot comes off. The shimmers, they are quite like a chunkier formula, which I love because I feel like it's very pigmented, but obviously you have to be careful because you get it literally everywhere. But this is just such a beautiful palette. I love like, in all fairness, I don't really like the top row, but if you just had that bottom row, that would be like a dream come true palette for me. I literally absolutely love this palette to death. So this is definitely a cult classic for me. And then we have the Sultry, which is probably my favorite packaging because I just think it's absolutely gorgeous, like this rose gold glitter. But it is probably my least favorite color story. I don't know, I don't reach for it. It's very cool toned. I absolutely love the shade Cyborg, like that silver glitter there. But I don't know, it just don't really call to me. It just looks quite dull, and obviously you've only got like the one pop of color. It's just very cool toned. I don't really feel like there's a lot of differentiation in the palette. So yeah, it's not one that I reach for the most, but my boyfriend bought me this one, hence why I kind of couldn't declutter it, because I felt really bad, and it's not old or anything in it. It's like such in good condition, so I'm like gonna try force myself to use it. But the packaging is so beautiful on this one. Yeah, I just don't really like the color story on this one, but the packaging, I mean, come on, is gorgeous. And then we have the Riviera. Now this probably isn't one that I reach for very much either, but the interior is like so gorgeous. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, this literally calls so much like sailor vibes. Like, literally this palette I can kind of think is like river vibes, sailory kind of vibe palette. Obviously you've got some gorgeous brights in there, some beautiful kind of sea blues, and I just think this is such a beautiful palette. Yeah, you can see it's like based around like kind of in the sea and stuff, like sails, yacht, coastline. Like, I just think this is such a beautiful palette. Obviously it's just so colorful and fun, which I really like as well. Like, I do like a neutral palette, but I just love kind of having just a bright fun palette. Sometimes they just look so nice when you look at them. But yeah, that's the Riviera palette. And then last but not least, we have the Amrezy palette. So the Amrezy palette, again, this packaging is just beautiful. This one is a bit longer than the normal ones. You can kind of see. Let me just put them up. You can see the Amrezy one is a little bit longer than the rest of them. I'm not sure if this one is kind of limited edition. I believe it might be, but I think you can still pick it up. So if you're watching this and you like the look of this palette, then pick it up, please, because I don't know how long this is going to stay available for, but yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this. Just look at this color story. It's absolutely beautiful. I must admit, I do get scared of some of like these glitter shades. I don't kind of mind like the crushed pigment shades, but like the pure glitters I do get really scared about. I believe it's the shade Gemini and Litty, but I just find that they can be very messy and fiddly, so they do scare me in this palette. But I think the color story is so beautiful. I just love this random pop of blue here. It's just so nice and gorgeous. I love this palette. I think it's so nice. As you can see, the brush is still in the seal. I literally don't use any of the brushes. That's no offense to their brush, but I just prefer my own. But again, like, you can just create such a neutral, but you can create such a glam look in this palette, and I just absolutely love it. And of course, packaging is so nice, and like the ABH palettes, they're not too thick as well, so they're like easy to store. They look beautiful, so I mean, it's a win-win. I just love my ABH palettes so much. So we're going to move on. Where should we move on to? We'll move on to my Huda Beauty palettes. Now, you've probably seen this when I posted my makeup collection video, because a lot of these were like in my everyday palette organizer. But of course, we've got Huda Beauty palettes, my babies. These are like the one palette like I could not be without, honestly. So the first palette we have is the Mercury Retrograde. Like, OMG, have you ever seen a palette more beautiful in your life? This is like insanely gorgeous. Oh, I love this palette so much. Like these shimmers, oh, like the glitters, you can see in there like the gold, but with that pink, and the blues at the top, like the teal. It's just so nice, and it's so unique, which I just love, because you've just got such a beautiful turquoisey shade. You've got like this crushed white foil there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palettes so much. I think the quality, the formula, the pigmentation, everything about her palettes is 100% incredible. Like, she takes so much care in the detail, and just the whole kind of like, you know, the making of the palette. So I just cannot recommend these palettes enough. I think they're so beautiful. Literally, I'm absolutely obsessed with Huda's palettes. I know that she has like a load of the little palettes as well, but I don't actually have any of those. I don't know why. I just prefer like these bigger palettes. I feel like you basically get in here what you do in the little palettes anyway. Plus I don't really like a lot of like the really colorful palettes, and I know that some of her little ones are based just like on the same kind of color story, so I just kind of prefer like a big differentiation in like these palettes, just like a wider range of colors rather than using like 2 or 3 palettes. But these are £56 each, and these are all available, by the way, so you can grab these on Cult Beauty, you can grab these from the Huda Beauty shop, wherever you want to grab these from, you can grab these. Now this is the new nude. This was my first love, my absolute first love. This is what got me into eyeshadow. This is my absolute baby. I love this palette to death. I don't reach for it now as much as I'd like to, because I feel like I've definitely kind of upped my game and kind of stepped outside the comfort zone. But like back in the day, all I literally used to wear was pink, gold, literally. So I used to absolutely swear by this palette. You can tell how much like of a divot these shades have. I think this is such an incredible palette. If you like pinky tones, if you like gold tones, this is just so beautiful because it's just so soft and glam as well. It's not like too much. I just absolutely love it. I think it's so unique again and gorgeous. And then we have my second love. So I bought the new nude first, and then I actually bought this palette afterwards. This palette, I mean, there's nothing else to say about it apart from the fact that it is literally 1 in a billion. It's literally incredible. I know like you can find a lot of these shades in like other palettes and stuff, but like if you ever touch the Huda Beauty eyeshadow, you would faint. Like the pigmentation, the quality of these eyeshadows are just out of this world. I absolutely love this palette so much, because I feel like it's kind of help me step outside of my comfort zone with these kind of muted wine tones and the more kind of browny kind of shades in here. So I feel like it's definitely helped me to kind of step up a bit rather than just using the same old pinks. But if you have not tried a Huda Beauty palette, where are you? What are you missing? I mean, also as well, can we just admire the packaging on these? Like, can we just look at the packaging? I mean, aren't they just the most beautiful things you've ever seen? And I mean as well, like, you're paying £56 on a palette, but it's definitely worth £56. It doesn't feel like it's £5. It doesn't feel like it's less than it's worth. It like feels so nice and heavy, and the quality and everything about it is definitely worth the money and more, in my opinion. And then last but not least, we've got the Desert Dust palette. Now I know this was like the first one that came out, but I bought this like third, because it didn't really intrigue me as being like that pretty as the other ones. But it went on sale on Cult Beauty a little while ago, and I picked it up, but I'm really not impressed, guys. I really don't like this palette. It really did disappoint me. The shades and the shimmers were not as pigmented as the other palettes that she's done, and yeah, it just did disappoint me. As you can see, I've only kind of really swatched it because I haven't even really used it. I don't really like the color story either. I think it's a little bit random and a little bit dull. But anyway, I just absolutely love Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes, and I had to kind of keep it to have with the collection. But I think eventually I probably will end up passing that one along, because there's no point in just keeping it for the sake of keeping it. But anyway, I cannot recommend Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes enough. They're just amazing. If you can hear my brother murmuring in the background, by the way, he's probably on his little microphone to his mate, so just excuse that. But anyway, next I will show you, what shall I show you? I'll show you my Revolution palettes. I've swapped hands, my hand is aching. So here I've got some Revolution palettes. I've got the Roxy, the Colourburst palette. Now this is so gorgeous. Like, I'm sorry, but Revolution do some absolutely beautiful palettes. This is the Colourburst palette, and I just love this colour story so much in this palette. I just think it's absolutely like incredible, and for like £10, like, I'm sorry, but what? My packaging is like a little bit skag now because it's like been in my drawer, but these eyeshadow palettes, I mean, for what you're paying, I mean, this is one of my absolute favorites from Revolution. This is the South X Extra Spice, I believe. This is just amazing. I love the color story in here. I love the shades. I love the pigmentation. I love everything about this one. This is just absolutely amazing, this eyeshadow palette. I love that one. That's probably my favorite one from the drugstore. And then we've got Soph's normal palette. I am a big fan of Soph. I watch her channel all the time, so that's why I have her palettes and support her. But this is the first one, which I really liked and enjoyed, but obviously when the Extra Spice came out, this one basically got neglected because it was nothing compared to the Extra Spice. But I mean, just the color story and everything about these are just absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't tried these, you need to try them. Get to know if you don't know. But anyway, sorry if I'm kind of picking up the pace a little bit. I don't want to make this too long for you guys, so I'm just kind of trying to whiz through the more boring ones and kind of show you the more fun ones. But anyway, I'll show you my Morphe ones next. I didn't really categorize these well, did I? So I have 6 Morphe palettes. Not as many as a lot of other people do, but then again, Morphe palettes are bigger palettes, and I don't really like a bigger palette. I just kind of prefer like a normal size kind of palette. I don't really tend to reach for like these bigger ones, so that's why I don't really have lots. But anyway, the first palette we have is the Morphe 35M. Oh my god, oh my god. Of course I had the 35B, but I did declutter that one, as you've seen in my declutter video. But I mean, come on, like this color story in here is just so beautiful. I mean, I used to reach this palette like a hell of a ton. It's got like a lot of greeny tones, a lot of pinky tones, purpley tones, but I just think this is such a nice palette, and the pigmentation of the shimmers and the mattes in this is insane. And by the way guys, a hack that I do is I actually get a bit of blue tack and stick the name sheet actually like on top of the plastic cover, so I can kind of see the names like this, because if I just put it in, it like tend to fall out. So sorry guys, I keep having constant interruptions in my blinking videos and it's driving me nuts. So if you keep hearing it just snip out, that's because someone is screaming in the corridor. So, you know, pros, cons of having, or is it pros? Is it pros or cons? You know, the bad side of having younger brothers. So that's fun. But anyway, let's continue. So we have my next Morphe palette, which is my Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2, which is just like the most beautiful palette I've ever seen. I'm probably saying that about every palette. I'm like, yeah, this is the most beautiful palette I've ever seen, but like this is literally one of the most beautiful palettes I've seen. It's just absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm sorry, what? So like this color story is just insane. Like, is that not what dreams are made of? I'm sorry, but literally. And then we have my smaller Jaclyn Hill ones. These are like the Vault ones. I bought these on Morphe. It's just like part of a Vault. So we've got the Bling Boss, which is just like the most beautiful like purple toned eyeshadow palette. I love these because they're just so like small and travel friendly as well. We've got Dark Magic, which just like is like a really nice dark one with like greeny tones. Ew, it's me. Silvers, blues, greens, which is so nice. And then we've got the Arms and Gorgeous palette, which is like so beautiful. You've got like oranges and golds and like this beautiful white and like this army green. It's just absolutely beautiful. All these palettes are like really unique in their own way, which I really love. And then we've got the Ring the Alarm palette. Again, absolutely stunning. Just these orangey tones, these reddy tones, I think is absolutely beautiful in this palette. So I absolutely love those. That is my Morphe palettes, guys. I'm going to move on to my Jeffree Star palettes. I'm not really going to talk too much about these because I know a lot of people don't really support this brand anymore. I only have like a few eyeshadow palettes from this brand just because I think the quality of the eyeshadow palettes are really good. But this is the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette. I mean, this is probably one of the nicest palettes I have seen. I just love the engravements on this palette. I just think it's so different and so nice. I just think like the pig with the cheese, that is a pig in it, yeah, and then the pig with like on the pink. I just think this is such an like an overall aesthetically pleasing palette. I just really like it. I love the color story, and again, I just love the engravements on this palette. I just think it's so fun. Like when you look at a palette, you kind of want it to be like really fun and just funky, and like because I feel like it makes you want to reach for it more. If you look at a palette and you're kind of like, oh, this is a bit boring and dull, like I feel like you don't really reach for it. So you want something you're going to look at and be like, oh, that's really fun. So that's definitely what I feel when I look at that palette. And then we've got the Thirsty palette. This again, I think Jeffree Star do some really nice color storied palettes. I think this is such a nice one. Obviously the top here you've got some gorgeous neutral shades, and then at the bottom you've got like these fun pops of color. He seems to really like a fun pop of yellow, which I don't reach. As you can see, the star is literally perfect, but the shimmers in the middle as well. I kind of really like how he makes his palettes kind of very versatile for all skin types. So obviously you've got some like deeper shimmers in here, some deeper colors, obviously to just suit all skin types, which is really, really nice, because I feel like all the palettes would suit every skin type, which I just think is really good when you're kind of designing a palette. So I really, really like this one. I think it's really nice. And then we have the Jawbreaker. This was my first Jeffree Star palette, and actually my friend actually gave this one to me because he didn't want it anymore, but I literally love this one. It's so fun. Again, like his palettes I think are just really fun. This is just such a beautiful, like colorful palette. I feel like if I was going to reach for something colorful, I would reach for this, just because I feel like it has everything and more you need in a palette. And I really like as well, you can just literally flip back as well like that. Just makes life a little bit easier for yourself. And obviously as well, in all his palettes he's got like a big mirror as well, which I just think is even better, sorry, because a lot of people I know like to do like their makeup in like little mirrors like this, eyeshadow palette mirror. So I think that's really, really nice as well, how you have a big mirror. But yeah, this palette is just really, really nice, and I love the packaging of it. I just think the palettes he does are very, very nice. So next, I'm just going to show you a few random scragglers in the match, but we're nearly getting to like the bigger piles now, guys. But anyway, these are just a few random ones I have. So I have one palette from Urban Decay. This is the Born to Run palette. I mean, for a start, the packaging on this is just absolutely so beautiful. I just love how different it is. I love how kind of zen vibes it is, vacation. It just makes you want to go on holiday. When I look at this palette, I'm like, yes, come on holiday. I will say like it's very, very heavy. Like the top of the palette is like super heavy, but I just think this palette is so nice. The mattes in this palette are very, very creamy, and so are the shimmers. I'm really gutted I don't reach for this more than I do. My mum actually got this for me for Christmas one year, because I think it is really, really nice. And again, they're so pigmented and so beautiful, but I just don't reach for it. I don't really know what it is about it. I don't really feel like it calls me like other palettes. But I mean, the packaging, I think I keep it for the packaging. I mean, oh, the packaging is everything and more. Like, is it not? I mean, I just love the packaging on this palette. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. And then we've got two palettes that have been in like my everyday kind of palette organizer. So we've got the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. I think this is so nice. Like when I look at this gives me pure wedding vibes. You've got like these beautiful soft browns, these beautiful pink shimmers, that beautiful silver shimmer. Like I just think this all in all is such a beautiful palette. I think it's so neutral, so soft glam. Again, I just think it's so nice and such an everyday kind of wearable palette, which I really like. And I love the packaging as well, how she's done this like all nude things. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see like that shine on the front of the packaging. I believe if you just like search this in online, you can like pick this up from ASOS and stuff. I believe you can like pick this one up on ASOS and stuff for like, I believe this one is like £35 or something, but it's definitely worth it. It's such a nice nude palette. And then we have the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. This is just absolutely insane. I mean, again, I love the packaging, kind of that neutral nudie vibe. And then as you come into the palette, it is so stunning. You've got like these beautiful nude shades, and then it gets a little bit darker down the gradient, and I just absolutely love that about this palette. The shimmers as well are so nice, so pigmented. Again, this is just so gorgeous. This one is £35. You can pick this up on, I believe you can get this on like Cult Beauty and stuff, so just like have a little look. But this is such a nice palette. I literally love this palette. It's so nice. And next we've got my Kylie eyeshadow palettes. Now these are my babies. These are like my literal pride and joys. Ow, my arm is aching. Why did I decide to do this vlog style? I don't know. But these are my babies. These are literally my life sentence. These are, yeah. These are just like lock and key, keeping these for the rest of my life. So the first palette I have is the Burgundy palette. I absolutely love this one. This is just such a nice kind of mulled wine toned palette. I just love it. I really like this one. It is so nice, and the packaging as well. I just think all in all it's such a great like wearable palette. And then we've got my limited edition ones, and I mean, let me just show you. These, I'm like a bit of a sucker when it comes to Kylie Cosmetics, and I collect like I obviously collect her blushes, as you would know, and then obviously I've got her palettes, and I just, when I look at this, my heart just melts because these were so hard to get, and these were so expensive, guys. You do not realize how much I've actually spent all in all on getting these and like trying to get them, because these are so hard to get, especially this one. I paid a hell a lot for this one. But anyway, I would just show you first. This is probably the most recent collection she done out of all these. This is the like Wild collection. This, I mean is absolutely beautiful. It's just got those animal tones in it that just looks so fun and inviting. Like when you look at this palette, you think, oh, leopard, animal vibes. And I just love the engravement she's done as well. I love those glitters that go up through the middle. I just absolutely love this. I think it's so fun and cool. I just, all in all, I love this. And I love the glitter bit on the front as well. This packaging, everything about this, I just think is so nice. Like, oh, I love it. And then we've got her like kind of next newest. This come out at Christmas time. This is the Grinch eyeshadow palette. Now I have the some of the lipsticks, the blush and the highlight as well, but I had to get this. I mean, I probably would not really wear this that much just because it's like a lot of green tones in this, but I mean, I had to have it. I had to have it. I'm a collector, right? You need to have it if you're a collector. But anyway, I just love like this Grinch up here as well. It's just so fun. This palette is so cool and fun, and I definitely want to reach for it, and I definitely want to play with it because it is so gorgeous. I mean, come on, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I need that in my life. And then it's kind of like a tie between these two, like which one my favorite is. I think it's probably the Sailor one my favorite, but this one I know is definitely the most hardest to get, therefore my prized possession. But this is the Sailor collection. Now I think the color story in this is insane. I mean, I love the packaging. Again, how she's done like the intricate detailing in this palette, I just think is everything. And I mean, this palette, just the neutral vibe, then you've got the blues and that red and the golds. I just think it's absolutely beautiful, because right in front of you here you can have such a wearable palette but such like a nice bold look as well. I just absolutely love this. I think it's so beautiful. And I mean, the packaging as well, can we just like, I mean, oh, I just absolutely love that to death. And then last but not least, we've got the Kylie times Kendall. Now this is her sister and hers collab, so literally brace yourself for this, guys. This is what this palette looks like. It is so beautiful. I mean, it is just such a fun palette. I just think the tones, everything about this, the bold colors, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. This palette is just so beautiful, and I just love it to death. This is such a nice palette, guys. I love it so much. I just love my Kylie eyeshadow palettes so much. Next, we're tackling Colourpop. We're tackling Colourpop, guys. I mean, thinking about it, I think I'm just going to show you a few of my favourite face palettes, because I don't really think I'm going to have a lot of time to like show you each one. I'm just going to show you like my favourite ones, but first I'm obviously going to show you my Colourpop palettes, because you're all probably dying to see these ones. So first we have some of obviously like the 12 pan palettes, so I'm just going to kind of whiz through these because there's a lot. We have the Ménage au Moi. As you can see, some of them is kind of add a bit of fallout there. You can see all that crack there, but beautiful palette. This one come out at like Christmas time. California Love, OG for me. Literally love this palette. Golds, brownie tones, all these palettes you can get on Colourpop's website, by the way. 100% recommend these. Such a good price and so beautiful and pigmented. Love this one, the California Love. Then we've got the Sweet Talk. Again, the packaging on these and everything, the color stories are just so beautiful. This one's pinky tones with golds. My ideal palette, really. I absolutely love this one. I love how I'm just kind of like chucking them as well. Don't worry, I don't normally treat my palettes like this. I'm kind of just in a rush right now. This is the Whatever palette. I absolutely love this one. It's probably my favorite 12 pan palette. I just think it's so gorgeous. Like the golds, one of the shades did like smash a bit. I would say Colourpop's eyeshadows are very fragile. I've had like quite a few smash in like further palettes, and this one I did actually have to repress because it came smashed. I think because they're shadows are so fragile, they do kind of tend to crack a lot and break. And then this is just like a Colourpop Z palette that I filled with Colourpop singles, and I absolutely love this. I mean, this is just a beautiful palette, and I just filled it with like a whole bunch of Colourpop singles, so that's that. This is just like a great wearable palette for me, really. And then I also have like this one. I actually got this Z palette off Amazon, can you believe it, for like literally £10. I just typed in Z palette and I got it in this beautiful pink packaging with like the lid, and it's just as good as like if you were going to buy an expensive one as well. And then in here I've got majority, again, Colourpop single shadows. These two are from the Morphe James Charles palette, and then we've got a Kylie Jenner single in here, Kylie Cosmetics single, sorry, and then I've got a few Revolution singles in here, but majority Colourpop. So that's just another single palette I like to use. And then we've got my Colourpop 9 pans. So actually I keep this one in here as well because it's so small. I've got this Fenty Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is just one of the snap shadows in, this is going to be hard to open, isn't it, in 4. This is just like the pink tone one, really nice. I need to get another one actually so I can like snap on the back, but yeah, that's really nice. So I'm just going to whiz through these. We've got Coastal Coral, we've got Making Moss, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. We've got That's Taupe. Look, I mean, look at that. I mean, sorry, but what? We've got Blowing Smoke. These are going to be harder to open, which is like my favorite smoky tone palette ever. It's so beautiful. We've got Lilac You a Lot, which again is such a really nice like subtle purple palette. We've got In a Trance, which is like such a nice fun palette with like those pinks and blues. We've got Orange You Glad, which is like probably one of my favorite Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. I mean, it's just so gorgeous, that one. We've got Baby Got Peach, which is probably my like most favorite like wearable one. I really like that one. We've got Cloud Spun. How I'm doing this with one hand, mine. I mean, Ledge, right? Is such a gorgeous pink palette. I mean, look at that, it's just so beautiful. We've got Strawberry Shake, which is probably one of my favorites. Again, I just love this like color story in here, just reminds me of strawberries. And then we've got the Going Coconuts palette. As you can see, a pretty mess on the floor right now, which again is just so neutral. As you can see as well, like a lot of them come out, you can see that shade is edging to come out. As you can see, like they do all come out like easy as well, but they are obviously like magnetic in. I remember I like dropped one of the palettes once and all the shades come out and one of them did smash. But yeah, they do come out very easy, so bear in mind if you're going to drop this, probably all the shades will come out, but hopefully none of them will smash. But we're going to just scooch, and hope that none of them gets on my new carpet. But hey ho, my mum will be fuming at me. But anyway, I'm just going to show you a few of my favourite face palettes. I mean, can I just start with this one, because this is just absolutely insane. This is the Lorac Pro Sculpt and Glow palette. I mean, this is just such a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing palette. We've got 2 bronzers, 2 blushes and 2 highlighters in here. You can order this off the Lorac Pro website. It's just so beautiful. I just think the colours are so bold in here and so nice just to look at. Like, I'm always just looking at that palette thinking how nice it looks. And we've also got this palette from NARS, which I really like, which I'm probably not going to be able to open actually, because I just realised how hard this is. Yeah, I'm not actually going to be able to open that because, I mean, look how short my nails are as well. But this is such a beautiful palette as well. If you want to check this one out, this one's called the Exposed Cheek palette. It's really nice. And we've actually got some Becca ones, which are so nice as well. I mean, look at the packaging on that. And this is what it looks like inside, which is gorgeous. We've also got this one, which I love, the BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease. This is the 6 color blush and highlighter palette. This again is like so nice. Can you just see like my swatch marks there? But so beautiful. Love this. And then we will show another. We've got the Becca times Chloe and Malika, which is probably one of my favorite Becca palettes. This is just so beautiful. You've got a highlighter, 2 blushes and a bronzer. But yeah, all in all, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I spoke gibberish, and I'm sorry if I seem like I'm in a complete daze today. I literally am, but I thought I have to upload for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I have not ruined it. But if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know. And also let me know down below what you guys would like to see. But I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who subscribed, everybody who showed me love and support. I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much. And I hope you have enjoyed this montage video. So anyway, I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.